Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, the Everyday Non-Expert here, and today I'm going to give my non-expert review of WandaVision, Disney Plus's new TV show. So if you're interested in expert opinions, you can go check New Rockstars, Den of Nerds. This is just for the average person who just wants to hear someone who likes comics and TV and movies just talk about their initial reaction without doing a lot of deep diving research and stuff like that. Alright, stay tuned! Alright, so first off, I wanted to talk about the scene where Vision walks through and he drops Wanda. And then he turns around and he opens the door and she's there and it's cute and funny and everything. And then Vision walks through the chair, but you can see Wanda looks like she's concentrating and herself is transporting Vision through the chair. So it looks like she is actually creating some of this illusion even from the beginning intro. And then next we have the heart scene from the trailer. Next we have Agnes's entrance, and this is supposedly Agatha Harkness from the comics, who in the comics works for Mephisto. Agnes points out here that she doesn't have a ring, and it's just another evidence of glitch in the Matrix. And here we see Vision at work. And he just realized that the heart symbolized dinner with his boss, Mr. Hart, and his wife, Mrs. Hart. Vision then calls Wanda, and they have a classic comedic back and forth where Vision realizes that it's the dinner with his boss, but Wanda still thinks that it's their anniversary. So there's these double entendres and different things like that, where neither one of them really understands that the other one is talking about something completely different. And it seems like it's just a classic trope from the classic movies. I rather enjoyed it, thought it was kind of nice. And next is the first of these commercials, which I think are interesting, but this one mentions a toaster, and you can actually see the red blinking light is in color, and it gets faster and faster. And I wonder if that has something to do with the outside. And they mention it's from Stark Industries. And then when they're talking with Vision's boss, he just mentions that Wanda is from Sokovia, which I thought was a nice Civil War throwback. And there are a lot more scenes with situational comedy, but I'm not here to do a review, necessarily a summary. This is more of a review and my thoughts. And I thought this was interesting, where at the end it sort of zooms out and you see a sword symbol on the monitor there on the left, and then you look like what might be vital signs on the computer, and someone is writing stuff down, and he turns off the TV, and that's the end of the episode. And episode 2 started with the bump of the night scene we saw in the trailer. And it looks like we're getting a lot of trailer stuff in the very beginning. And this has just more of her using her magic. And one thing that I thought was really interesting is now it starts off with the Bewitched style intro, which is later, I think, than the Dick Van Dyke style that they had, or I Love Lucy. Kind of reminded me of both in episode 1. And then, not only that, the house actually looks different. There's the stairs, as opposed to it was all sort of on one story before. And then this lady right here actually, I think, is Monica Rambeau. And then Wanda hears another big bump and then goes out to check it out. And you see this helicopter, which I think is Iron Man colors. Don't know if that means anything yet, or if it will. But then you'll also see on the helicopter itself is the sword symbol. So Wanda is definitely aware of sword and them being sort of on an outside part, which we will see something relate to later. And then Agnes comes, or Agatha, and she actually starts with, well, if it isn't the star of the show, which I thought is a very interesting way of her saying hi to Wanda. And next is a reference to the devil, and then Agnes actually leans over and says, "That's not the only place he is," which I think might be a reference to Mephisto, which I'm sure Eric Voss from New Rockstars just was so happy to hear. And then next is probably the closest scene to someone knowing what's going on that we've seen so far, and probably will see in these next two episodes. And it's when Dottie, who seems like she's the typical HOA, PTA style mother head lady, and she says that quote, like, "I've heard things about you," and then she said she's also heard things about her husband too, and then Wanda mentions that she's not going to hurt anybody, or at least I think she says something along the lines of she doesn't want to hurt anybody on purpose. And then this lady obviously doesn't believe her, and then there is a high tension released by the radio freaking out, making high frequency sounds, like the channel is changing and stuff like that. And then you hear a voice come on, and it kind of sounds like it's saying, "Wanda, stay with me," or "stay," and then it plays "Help Me, Wanda" by the Beach Boys, and then the glass in Dottie's hand actually breaks, and you see the color of the blood. And it's twofold, where Wanda said she doesn't want to hurt anybody, but she did, even just on accident, which I think is very symbolic of her powers. And then also the blood being color, I think is another sort of glitch in the Matrix moment. And then that's followed up by another one of the commercials, which has to do with a Strucker watch, which you'll see is from Hydra. And if you don't remember, Strucker is actually the guy who sort of created, I guess, Wanda and Pietro back in Civil War. And here is a creepy scene, I think, where they're saying, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" And I wonder if that's something coming from the outside world, because that's, in the context of the show, it didn't make much sense. And then another note, I thought it was interesting that they had the Scarlet Witch of the Marvel Universe dressed sort of like Zatanna, sort of maybe the equivalent in the DC world. And now, this is sort of the end, but now Wanda has a baby bump. This whole episode they've been kind of creepily saying "for the children," and she ends this with a baby bump, which I thought was interesting. And then they hear a loud bump, and then they walk outside to see the manhole cover opening, and out from the manhole comes the beekeeper, who has the sword symbol on his back. And then this is another horror element to it. And Wanda says no, and then rewinds it, altering reality. And then she relives this moment that is supposed to be one of the happiest moments probably of her life, where her and Vision are going to be having children. And she actually asks Vision if it's real, or is this really happening? And then Vision comforts her by reinforcing that, yes, Wanda, this is in fact happening. And then, right before the episode ends, his face turns to color. He has the Mind Stone, and everything else changes to color. And I think this is a scene from one of the trailers as well, where everything is changing to color. But then we know that we've sort of progressed, at least even from the first episode and into this episode, and going into the third episode. And then it zooms back out, and this time there's no guy watching it on a TV show, it just ends. Which I find interesting that they don't do that for this one. Okay, well, that is my review and sort of theory speculation video for WandaVision, episodes 1 and 2. Thank you for watching. Please give me a like and subscribe and click the notification bell so you see my videos as soon as they pop up. You can also share this on social media and comment down below and let me know if there are any theories that you thought of when you saw this that maybe I missed or anything like that. Or if there's anything you especially liked that I mentioned that maybe you hadn't thought about. Alright, thanks again for checking out this video, and I will see you later.